you can answer this big question, then 2024 is going to be more productive, more efficient, and you're going to have more control towards the goals, the targets, and the objectives that you are going to set. I've broken down this video into 5 phases. Phase 1, we're going to look at the goals that we set at the beginning of the year. We're going to write them down and have a look at them. Phase 2, we're going to look at how we've performed. If we've performed well, what were the things that we did right? And if we've performed poorly, what were the things that we did wrong? We're going to have a look at those things. Phase 3, now that we have all that information, what are we going to do next? Planning for the next year. Phase 4, what is the importance of all this and how is it going to add any value into your life? Phase 5, I have a bonus tip for you guys, so make sure you stick to the end of the video. Let's get it. So guys, phase 1. So it's the beginning of the year. You have all these goals that you've set. You want to read books. You want to learn a new skill. You want to learn how to dance, how to make music, how to play the piano, play a guitar. Or maybe you want to get rid of a habit. You've been dealing with a habit and you finally want to get rid of it. Or maybe you just want to save as much money as you possibly can by the end of the year. So all these goals, you know your goals, you know the goals you set. Get a piece of paper, get a book, get whatever you can and write them down. Have them listed down. Phase 2. So you have listed all the goals that you had in the beginning of the year. It was 2023. You had all these goals. So how did you perform? Maybe your goal was to read as many books as you possibly could, and you had set a goal to read one book, one chapter each and every day. And let's say if a book had like 40 to 30 chapters, that would mean you'd read a book, maybe you'd finish a book every month. So let's say you just read like 6 or 7 books. Maybe you did more or less, or probably more than that, but that for me is a good performance. In an entire year, if you've read 6 to 7 books, or even to 8 or to 10 books, that's really good. But if you've only read one book, I mean, come on, that's not a good performance. So this is where you gauge how you've performed. Let's say you've been overweight. Let's say when the year was starting out, you had 100 kgs or 90 kgs. And when you went to, your goal was to reduce that weight to about 70, or being reasonable, about 80 or 85. And so at the end of the year, you find that you've actually added that weight, or you've only, just reduced to maybe 5 kgs or, that's not a good performance. So how have you performed? Or maybe you had set out to learn a new skill, and probably by the end of the year you have learned that skill and even much more. Maybe you now know how to dance, you know how to play the piano and all that stuff. Or you had planned to save. You had set a goal to save as much as like 70,000, and it's the end of the year and you have kept that target. Now that you know how you've performed, maybe you've performed well or maybe you've performed poorly. If you've performed well, what are the things that you did to actually perform well? Or if you've performed poorly, what were the things that you actually did to perform poorly? We need to look at these things so that we can know what we need to avoid and what we need to, maintain or improve at. So let's say one of those goals was to save as much money as you possibly could. And let's say you find that you've not even saved as much as you should have saved. And now we need to look at the reasons. Why did you not save as much money as you should have? Probably, let's say one of the reasons was you were spending money carelessly. Anything that you would find anywhere, you were just buying stuff carelessly without even asking yourself, do I really need to buy this? Or, is this just something that I can live without? Or your goal was to read as many books as you possibly could, but you find that you've only read one book. Why was this possible? Why did this happen? Then you find it's because you were not setting aside the time to read these books, or you're just being distracted. you are at your phone. With the time that you were needed to read these books, you were always on your phone doing, things that were not really beneficial to you. So you wasted the time and you never ended up reading books. If you performed well, let's say if you've learned a new skill, you've learned you have new dance moves, you're now a dancer at the end of the year, what are the things that you actually did right? So probably it's because you used to you had a good time management. You used to set out the time to work out or to even practice your new moves. You did research, you put in the time, the effort, you were dedicated, you were never distracted, you used to avoid distractions. Write these things down. I mean, what are the things that I did to actually achieve this? You see, so you used to wake up early and all those things. Write the things that helped you to perform, and at the point where you did perform, write the things down. I didn't perform because I was lazy. I didn't perform because I was distracted. I didn't perform because I wasn't motivated. I was just there. I wasn't doing anything. So write these things down. Phase 3. Now this is where we take the information that we've gathered, the goals that we had in the beginning of the year, and this is the way we've performed. Maybe you've performed well or you've not performed well. You know how you've performed. So with this information, we're going to move to the next step, and this is planning for the next coming year. So these things that you did right in the coming year, when you're planning out for the next goals that you have, your goals, you're gonna make sure that these things are the things that you're going to maintain, okay? And these are the things that you're going to improve on. So maintenance and improving the things that you did right. And for the things that you didn't, for the ones that, for the goals that you didn't perform well, you're gonna look at the things, what went wrong? What did I not do right? So you know what you didn't do right. Maybe you're lazy, maybe you're distracted, you're overthinking, or if it was to save as much money as you should have, you are buying things that, carelessly. So these things, write them down. And then these are the things you now need to avoid in the next coming year. When you have the goals for the next year, 2024, or whichever year that's going to be, maybe you're going to watch this video in 2027, 2028, 2030. For the goals you're going to set in that year, you have the things that you did wrong, and these are the things you're going to have to avoid for that next year. Phase 4. So how is all this going to add any value into your life? It's first of all going to make you more productive, because now you know the things that you did right and wrong, and that means in the coming year, knowing these things, knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses, you're going to be more propelled to be more productive and to be more fruitful. You're gonna be more intentional with the things that you're planning out to do, because there was a time I personally used to do things out of peer pressure, out of the pressure that was outside, from friends, from the media, from all these things. And then that's how I used to do things. Like, I was pressured, and then I do something that I saw on TV, I do something that but now I will be more intentional. Like, I won't just do anything anyhowly. I know this is what I need to do, and this is what I'm going to do. So you're more intentional. You're not just doing things, whatever, anyhow. Okay? So the other thing is progress. Let's say your goal was to read books, and you get to read as many books as you can. This is you're going to see progress, because you're gonna your vocabulary, your language, whatever the books you're reading, that language, you're gonna improve. You're gonna be more creative. You're gonna have lots and lots of stories just laying around, because there's progress. Or maybe it's learning a new skill, maybe dancing or playing the guitar. You're gonna start making new songs or dancing in new moves. You're gonna see progress. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe it's about saving. You're gonna see progress, because now you're gonna have something in your bank account, or wherever you're saving money, you're gonna have something to buy. Or if it's losing weight, you're gonna actually lose some weight, and you're gonna see a difference. You're gonna be healthy, you're gonna be fit, your body is going to be well, and you're gonna have a good physical state. Or maybe it was to break a habit, and once you've broken this habit, you're actually going to see progress. You're maybe going to be more freer to be able to now take up new habits, and that's progress. All that is progress. So the other thing is accountability. That's the other important thing that you're going to have over yourself. So back in school, you used to be accountable to your teachers. You used to answer for the mistakes you did, for the issues that you know, all those things. You are accountable to your teachers. If you'd perform well, you'd answer to them. If you perform poorly, you'd answer. You'd say, why did I perform? You'd be asked, why did you perform poorly in this examination? Why are you not performing well in this subject? You are accountable to your teachers. You could also be accountable to your parents. Why did you come home late? Why are you not cleaning your room? Why are you not making your bed? All these things, you might be accountable to your parents. But now you have accountability for yourself, over yourself. Now you answer to yourself. If you had set certain goals and you haven't performed them, you're accountable to you. You have to go and ask yourself. We usually say you have a meeting with yourself. You ask yourself, hey, what's going on here? Why am I not really getting stuff done? I had these goals and I wanted to really get to dance and learn new skills, but I'm not really doing it. What's up? What's going on? And then that accountability actually helps you, because now when you do that, it's like you're applying a bit of pressure over yourself. And then what that does, it kind of brings you back into line. So the other thing is time management. You're gonna know what's the best time to do a certain task, what's the best time to not do a certain task, or what are my strengths. Maybe I'm a morning person, and in the morning is when I'm at my strongest or at most creative, or it's in the evening, or it's during the day. You're gonna know what your best time is. And so planning your time, and this goes hand in hand with planning. So planning is the next thing, but it goes hand in hand with that. So you're also going to get better at planning, knowing what is my best time, what should I avoid. So your planning is going to improve. So guys, those are the importances that you can have, or you can that will add value into your life. Phase 5. The bonus tip that I told you guys I'm gonna share to you. For all you that have stayed to the end of this video, here is the bonus tip for you guys. This is something that you can actually apply not only on an yearly basis, but also on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis, and on a daily basis. Why is this? One of the reasons are there are goals that you can manage well on a daily basis and not on a yearly basis. For example, you set out a goal that maybe you want to break a habit. You are a liar. Let's say you have a bad habit as lying, and then you are like, I want to go for a whole day without lying. So you set out, and for the entire day you do your best and you don't lie. So at the end of the day, you're gonna say, hey, I did achieve this goal because I haven't lied to anybody during the entire day. So that's an accomplishment. That's a daily goal. But taking that goal for a whole year, it's going to be hard, because you can't go for a whole year without lying. That's quite impossible. It's really hard. Lying is something, or maybe any of the habits that you have, you might get to fail at some point. But on a daily basis, that's quite manageable. Let's say you've set out to exercise. Now this is a perfect goal for the week, and then you say I'm going to exercise for 4 times or 3 times a week, or even 5 times a week. So this is not a goal you can set on a daily basis, but this works best on a weekly basis. So that's another one. Or maybe you set out to save money. Maybe you have a goal to save 70,000 shillings, Kenya shillings, or whatever your currency is. You set out that goal. That's not a goal that you can manage within a day. At best, you can take it on a monthly basis or even an yearly basis. So depending on the goals that you've set, you're gonna know what will work best on a daily basis, or on a weekly basis, or on a monthly basis, or annually on an yearly basis. So all that is going to help you. Guys, that's it for this video. I've really enjoyed it. I don't know, I hope you guys have enjoyed it. I'm Theo, and I hope to see you on my next video coming soon, later. See you guys. Yeah, and enjoy your festive season. Peace.